Maple syrup time. Hey, this is some of my little tricks I use for gathering maple syrup. These are just two or 2.5 gallon water jugs, and I got them tied with construction line and a deck screw, and that's 1/4 inch DOT plastic. I'm running 3 taps. These are just a soft maple. They'll heal pretty fast, but these are small holes. I'm only putting a 1/4 inch drill hole in there, and then slipping that DOT plastic in. I'm sure you can probably get something similar at a hardware store. I'll show you a few more of my taps, but this is March 8th, 2019, and the sap just started flowing. We've had a real cold winter. I'm up in northern Iowa. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but this is just my test tap here, but I guess it just dripped a little bit ago. But you can see the trees starting to get a little wet down here. That's an indication of sap. The sap is flowing. Here again too. But a few tricks I use. I use these 2-gallon jugs for drawing the sap out of the trees, and then I use 1-gallon water jugs, and I freeze the sap, and then I freeze it real hard. I take it down to like 10 below 0 Fahrenheit, and what that does, it'll separate the sugar from the water to where you can let it sit for about 3 hours after you pull it out of the freezer, and then you'll be able to separate mainly sugary water. And instead of boiling this down at about a 40 or 45 to 1, you're boiling down I think about a 7 or 8 to 1. But I'll take that and drain those jugs off. Drain off that after about 3 hours, and then I'll put it back in another jug and mark it, and have that as condensed sap, or sugary water, and then I'll boil that down eventually when I get all my sap gathered. But I don't know, this seems like it's worked. It's been a trial and error process, and I tried to freeze and thaw it for 3 hours, and then tried to freeze that and rethaw, but I think just once freezing is adequate. I think otherwise you'll lose a lot of sugar, waste it. So no, that's just some of my tricks, and but use water jugs. Don't use anything like milk jugs, because they'll have a foul taste. Like I'd say, you're condensing it, so you'd have that sour milk taste if you'd use milk jugs. So water jugs work best, and I usually stick my nose in and make sure that there isn't anything. I gather them from a recycle center, so I check and make sure there wasn't anything else put in there. Give them a good rinse, and then with some hot water, and that's what works for me. So just hopefully that'll help you with some tips. And I gathered enough sap last year for about 2 gallons of syrup. So it took me probably close to 100 gallons of sap to get that much syrup. And you boil down, you take and boil this, and usually you figure your boiling point's going to be, say, 212 degrees Fahrenheit, and then you want to raise that. What it's doing is you're taking the water away, so it gets thicker, and it will your boiling point will start to rise after a while, and then you want to raise that 7 degrees from 2, whatever your boiling point is on your thermometer, generally 212, but you want to check it, and then take it up to 219, and that'll make you some maple syrup. Another thing this does is it makes your syrup pretty transparent. It looks like honey, and I think even gathering late in the season, which I think I'm going to have to do this year. I'm usually done gathering by now, but it's been so dang cold up here. you know, we've experienced a lot of below zero weather, even the 1st of March. So, and usually I'm done gathering by now, but I haven't even got any sap gathered yet, and it's March 8th. So, well, I hope that stuff will help you. Good luck.